Hi, Professor Pittman here with the Pittman Jiu-Jitsu Academy. So moving on to key 6. Key 6 is keep it real. Passion is demonstrated when what you believe and what you say and what you do and what you say you will do are all the same. You know, keeping it real in my mind is when your actions are congruent with both your words and the beliefs that are going on in your head. It's all consistent. And I think that is important to be said, and many of us are needing to be reminded. I'm going to go religious here for a moment because we're talking about really pushing the envelope, and I know how much trouble that can get everybody in. But many, many years ago, there was a sacrifice that was meant to pay the price for that which we cannot do for ourselves, which is perfection and absolute surrender. And this person expects all of us who claim that full and wholeheartedly give our all in that direction. And when that's not enough, and it isn't, of course, yes, in the end, he remains faithful, even if we fall short and even if we aren't. And that is the purpose of grace, to do what you and I can't. However, that reality should never be my excuse for what I won't passionately co-create and try to maximize. And most people, come to what I think in their life where they have this scenario where they think they've got this reasonable balance in life. It's almost, in my mind, a compromise that we can live with, and one that we think, okay, the man upstairs is okay with, because she's okay with, and this person's okay with it too. The reason I bring this up is this: never forget that you're a lion, a big lion with a big mane. Let's not be like the one that's conditioned to accept the terrible slice of meat that the zookeeper tosses us at the same time every day. You're a lion made to hunt and hunt passionately, and that cage door, it's open every day for you. So with that said, here's an example of how this key worked out in my life many, many years ago. I once had this young kid working for me, and when I say young, he was a college-age kid, and I told him that in my line of work, he is a professional instructor in our academy, we shave our faces, and he agreed, and later that week he reported in to work, and he was unshaven. And as he walked through the threshold of the academy, I said to him, well, hold on now, you're telling me that you said you were passionate about work, and you said you would come to work shaven, and now you're here, and you're not. And he said, yeah. And I said, first off, don't ever say yeah to me again. And my intention by doing that was to shake him up immediately at the beginning of the conversation to remind him of who he's speaking to and how important this is. So I asked him, what would make you think that telling me you're going to do something like shave your face and show up unshaven is appropriate? And he said, well, sir, I really didn't feel it this morning. So I asked, you didn't feel what? And he said, oh, I didn't feel it. And I said, would you say that to me again? What do you mean you didn't feel it? And he said, well, I wasn't feeling it, so I just didn't do it. And so I responded with, well, do you think I feel like having this conversation right now? Do you understand that this conversation is weighing heavily on me? It's uncomfortable. Do you understand that this conversation is not exciting me? It's not turning me on. As a matter of fact, I'm even hugely disappointed that we're having to, we're even having this conversation, sir. And I'm even confused. You suggested that, you were in agreement to the idea of the belief of becoming a professional instructor, and that you're all turned on and tuned in and tapped in, and now you show up looking like this, doing something that's absolutely inconsistent with what we had promised and hoped for. And he kind of postured and said, like what? And I responded with, well, you're showing up very naively. Heck, even our friend Phil Bradley over at the 50th Street Copper Caboose wouldn't let you bust tables if you showed up like that. And he kind of giggled, and I said, listen, this is not meant to be funny. I said, let me explain to you something, and explain something to you so you got the best chance of going and growing here. I believe you to be lying to yourself, and you're lying to me, and you're lying to all the people that you say are important to you because you're not passionate. You're not having your actions match your words and your thoughts. You're not keeping your promise and your agreement, to me or to yourself. Now, keep in mind, I'm kind of paraphrasing right now because many, many years have passed by, and I didn't say this, quite directly as I'm orchestrating here on this particular video with Key 6. Now, this story ends up having a happy ending. He enjoyed a great career working with us, and he went on to do some great things. He even owns his own school down in the East Texas area. So the truth is, saying you're passionate about a cause is one thing, but actually being passionate is another. Why? Passion is a demonstration. It's not a feeling. It's a demonstration where everything is congruent, where what you believe in and what you say and what you do and what you say you will do are all the same thing. And if it's not, well, you're telling a lie to somebody, just like this young man was. However, I just happen to be the only one who was no longer buying it in the room. For example, in my own life team, I get my shirts from the rack. I take them home, I still press the collar. I'm passionate about what I do. I don't feel like pressing the collar. I'm passionate about who I am. I take things personally. I clean my car every Sunday. I clip my nails every Monday. I make my bed every day. I just know that what I believe and what I say is what I will do. And, what I am and what I'm willing to be is in fact congruent. I'm just saying it's all the same thing. I'm not like my next door neighbor who goes outside and smokes a cigarette so his wife and children don't know and kind of tells me, hey, be quiet. I'm not the guy who sneaks a little whiskey during the week to soothe his nerves. I tell you this to say that what you see is what you get. And that's this key in my mind. Why don't you decide right now that the things that are important to you, the different areas of your life, you're going to protect those as though you will protect your life, because it is your life. And when you protect one area, it protects the other area. You want to take care of a relationship, protect it with your whole life. You want to build a career, protect it with your life. You want to build and maintain a high level of fitness and health, protect it with your life. You want to raise a healthy kids that turn out and are happy, protect it with your life. Be the example. Do you want, make sure that you and your wife and kids get to heaven? Protect that with your life. You want to be passionate about making certain that you have vacation time with your loved ones. Protect it with your life. You want to safeguard your finances. Protect your strategy around that. Protect it with your life. And we're going to be talking a lot more about the ins and outs of this in our actual lessons this week. Just keep in mind that passion is a demonstration, and it's fueled by proper training. And for training to be proper, it has to have the big three. And the big three are always going to be an example at the helm, who's in charge, or the idea that's in your head, and a valued outcome. So that's number one, an extraordinary curriculum, and understood in advance that these are the decisions we're going to make, and they're going to be encouraging. As a matter of fact, you want to fuel your passion, make certain that you stay on task with that, stay on track, don't create distractions. And I didn't misspeak. Most people they just create distractions. You want to fuel your passion? Don't do anything that isn't congruent with your beliefs and what you say and what you do and what you say you will do. That's how you feed your passion, and passion has to be fed. And how's it fed? It's fed many times with redundant activity of what it is that you believe and say and what you do, whether you feel like it or not. Everything from I'm going to polish my boots even if I don't feel like it. I'm going to make certain I return a phone call in a timely fashion even if I don't feel like it. I'm going to make certain that I show up for work in full force, shaven, even if I didn't feel it. Making sure you keep your marital vows, even if you don't feel it. The heart's deceitful. So that's how you feed your passion. So this key is to realize, to maintain passion, you got to keep it real. And keeping it real is all the ideas and notions that you have, you feed those the right way, you talk about them the right way, and you do things that are consistent with that. And anytime you're doing something or saying something that's not consistent, you need to stop and start cleaning it up. Because passion is a verb. It's a demonstration of who you are, what you're willing to commit to. And sometimes it lacks the intensity in terms of feelings that you think you need to, feel in order to keep moving forward and lean in the right direction. So just don't tell me you didn't feel it. As a professional instructor, I'd rather you just tell me the truth, that, hey, listen, I lied to you, I'm being inconsistent right now, and then let's just start over. Because the truth is, team, for passion to stay alive, to thrive, to get bigger, better, bolder, you gotta take care of it the right way. And the way you take care of it is you show up doing the right kind of things, even if you don't feel like it. You show up whether you feel like it or not, simply because that is congruent across the board. And sometimes, most of the time I don't feel like getting up and going and getting them and, getting ready to hunt bear, just like everyone else on the planet. I got all kinds of stuff that can distract me just like you. But that's when you got to whittle away at all the distractions. And you got to get down to the core essence of what it is that you truly believe, what you're going to say about it, what you're going to do with it, and what is it you want to create, what do you want to do, what do you want to be, what do you want to become, and realize, okay, I got to take the action, whether I feel like it or not, because action does, in fact, create emotion. I think we learned a few lessons ago that behavior modification does stimulate attitude. It's not attitude first. It's not feelings first. We talked about that in one of our previous leadership traits. So you got to get up, get it going, get moving, and massage and orchestrate what's needed to reignite that passion. So that's the key in a nutshell. Listen, it's always my pleasure working with you. Thank you very much. I look forward to working with you next time. In the meantime, keep the faith, keep working, and God bless.